Okay, so, I've been digging into these excerpts from Elon Musk, how I became the real Iron Man.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I was a little hesitant at first.
Another Elon Musk book.
Exactly. Like, how much more is there to say?
Right.
But, I gotta admit, some of these stories about his journey are pretty wild.
Oh, yeah.
So today, let's try to, really get under the hood and see what makes this guy tick.
I'm game.
Like what drives him to achieve all these things that it seem almost impossible.
Okay.
And, how much that Iron Man image is the real deal.
Right. Yeah.
So right from the start, the book dives into his ambition.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just, your typical, I want to be successful kind of thing.
Yeah.
This guy's aiming for like civilizational level change.
Oh, absolutely. It's fascinating how he talks about colonizing Mars.
Yeah.
Not just as some exciting adventure, but as like a crucial backup plan for humanity. He has this quote where he says, I think there's a strong humanitarian argument for making life multiplanetary to safeguard the existence of humanity in case something catastrophic were to happen on Earth.
Ooh.
It's like he's playing cosmic chess, thinking thousands of years ahead.
Yeah, like it's straight out of a sci-fi novel.
Totally.
And it's not just Mars, right?
No.
The book talks about his vision for the Hyperloop.
Oh, yeah.
This system that could shoot people across the country in pods at insane speeds.
Crazy fast.
Imagine having breakfast in New York and being in LA for lunch.
Exactly. And that's what's so captivating about him. He's not just dreaming these things up.
Yeah.
He's actually trying to build them. Which brings us to his work ethic.
Right.
The book mentions him pulling 100-hour work weeks, sleeping under his desk at Tesla.
I mean...
It's borderline crazy.
Yeah, speaking of this insane work ethic, it makes you wonder, what drives someone like him?
Sure.
What's the book say about the psychology of innovators like Musk?
Well, the book touches on his intense fear of failure, especially when it comes to his goals for humanity's future.
Okay.
But it also delves into his deep-seated need to prove himself. There's this anecdote about him being bullied as a kid.
Oh, wow.
And finding solace in computers and books. It suggests that a lot of his drive stems from a desire to overcome adversity and leave a lasting impact on the world.
So it's almost like he's trying to rewrite his own story, but on a massive scale.
Kinda, yeah.
But honestly, isn't there a downside to this relentless pursuit?
Oh, for sure.
Doesn't something have to give?
Absolutely. The book hints at the cost of this ambition. Strained relationships, missed milestones with his kids.
Wow.
It even mentions moments where he seems to recognize this. But ultimately, he's driven by this overwhelming sense of urgency.
Yeah, and the book really pushes this Iron Man comparison pretty hard.
It does.
But isn't that a bit of an oversimplification?
You think so?
I mean, what are some key differences between Musk and Tony Stark?
That's a great point.
Yeah.
While they share some surface similarities. Stark is ultimately a fictional character with a simplified backstory.
Right.
Musk's motivations are far more complex and rooted in real-world anxieties and aspirations.
Okay.
The Iron Man image is compelling, but it doesn't capture the full picture.
And that brings us to the impact of his ventures. On one hand, you have Tesla pushing the boundaries of electric vehicles and renewable energy.
Sure.
SpaceX revolutionizing space travel.
Right.
Those are undeniably positive contributions.
Yeah, but you can't ignore the potential downsides either.
Oh, of course.
As his companies push technological boundaries, questions about responsible innovation and the potential consequences of things like artificial intelligence become even more critical.
So we've uncovered a lot about Elon Musk today.
Yeah.
His ambition is rooted in a deep concern for humanity's future. He's incredibly driven, maybe to a fault. And that Iron Man image, while captivating, doesn't capture the full complexity of the man.
I agree.
But here's what I keep coming back to.
Okay.
In a world facing some pretty huge challenges, is Elon Musk the kind of ambitious, sometimes reckless innovator we need?
That's the question, isn't it?
What do you think?
Well, I think that's something our listeners will have to decide for themselves.
It's definitely something to think about.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive. Thanks for listening.
Thanks.